He was late for a call, phone in his hand, mind on numbers. Then he saw her, his little girl in the park, laughing on a worn bench. Beside her sat a homeless girl, hair tucked under a faded cap, a small notebook open between them. His feet stopped. His world did too. The scene felt wrong at first, then strangely right. The billionaire looked closer, ready to step in, but held back. The homeless girl drew lines in the dirt, counted pebbles, and spoke with calm focus. His daughter leaned in, eyes bright, joy spilling out of her like sunlight. He had paid for the best tutors, booked the best programs, filled their calendar with experts. Still, his daughter fought numbers and sometimes herself. Now she smiled at a problem that used to make her cry. She clapped, the other girls smiled back, and the park got quiet in his head. What he saw next changed the shape of his worry. The girl taught with stories, small steps, and patience. She used what she had, a stick, a page, a steady voice. It was simple, and it worked. This is a billionaire homeless girl story, but not the one you expect. The lesson started in the dirt, not in a boardroom. It carried warmth, grit, and the kind of care that no fee can buy. The daughter found a teacher where no one was looking. Here, we follow that first moment of surprise, the rush of questions, and the slow breath of understanding. We look at the small choices that led to this meeting, and the big feelings it stirred. Along the way, we find hidden wisdom in unlikely places, and the power of unexpected life lessons. If you love stories that start small and hit hard, you are in the right place. The busy life of a billionaire dad. His days had a script. Morning gym, quick breakfast, car with a driver, meetings stacked tight. Numbers filled the air like smoke. He ran a team, a fund, a life that looked perfect in photos. The house was glass and stone, the fridge always full, the schedule always busy. He wanted the best for his daughter, so he bought it. Private school, curated classes, weekend camps, and experts on call. He had a way of measuring love. He measured it in access, in time saved, in results. He asked about scores, not stories. He believed that pressure made diamonds, and that struggle could be managed with the right plan. He did not mean to miss anything. He just moved so fast that feelings blurred at the edges. He carried ideas from viral tailies, the kind where a rich man sees a stranger and jumps to a fix. He told himself he was not that guy. Then he saw a kid on a bench with his daughter and felt the same jolt he once mocked. His first thought was risk. His second was control. His third was to breathe, signs of a deeper need. Money covered the surface, but it did not fill the quiet. The clues were small, patient, and easy to ignore. They stacked up in ways even his calendar could not hide. Slipping grades, not for lack of tutors, but from fear of being wrong. Red marks piled up. She looked down, not ahead, silent dinners. She nodded, smiled, and kept answers short. The room felt big and she felt small, avoided playdates, friends drifted. Invitations slowed. She chose her room and closed doors softly. Nighttime stomach aches, not the flu, just worry. She clutched a blanket like a life raft. Perfect posture, tired eyes. She copied the look of confidence, but her shoulders told the truth. Tutors brought binders and scripts. They tracked progress like stock charts. They praised speed, not trust. They taught to the test, then left. She learned to hide, not to ask. The more he paid, the more the gap grew. What she craved was steady attention, not a rotating expert. She needed patience, not pressure. She needed a voice that sat beside her, not above her. He missed the soft calls for help in the rush for results. He loved her, fully and without doubt. He just chased proof of it in the wrong places. An ordinary park turns extraordinary. Late light spilled over the swings. Sparrows hopped under the bench. Laughter echoed, light and clear, then stopped when he saw the girl in the cap step closer to his daughter. He froze by the path, hand tight around his phone. Every warning he had ever heard crowded his thoughts. He was ready to call out. Then the girl lifted her palm in a small hello and kept a respectful distance. No rush, no ask. She pulled a pencil from behind her ear, the wood worn smooth, and set a scrap of paper on the bench. "Want to see a trick with numbers?" she asked softly. His daughter's head tilted. Curiosity beat fear. He stayed still. Many viral clips and posts show moments like this, small and kind, that reset fear in shared spaces. This felt like one of them, only real and close. The girl drew 3 boxes and a circle. "This is a candy shop," she said. "You are the owner." His daughter smiled. The pencil tapped, quick and sure. "You have 9 candies, share them with 3 friends." He watched the shift. Wariness slipped from his shoulders as his daughter leaned in. The girl's voice stayed calm. Her hands moved slowly, letting the child's eyes follow. "You choose," she said, pushing the pencil over. The park's noise faded to a hum. What the girl shared first. She offered something small and warm. Not money, not advice, just a gentle way in. She shared a story, then a simple skill, and let the girl lead, a tiny gift. Here, I made this, she said, folding a paper crane in 3 careful moves, a short tail. My grandma taught me this when I was scared of math. A choice. You pick the rules, I will follow. The trust did not arrive in words. It showed up in the gaps between them. The girl kept her knees angled away, giving space. She matched the child's breath, slow and steady. Her smile stayed small, patient, and real. She waited a beat longer before speaking, letting silence feel safe. 3 each, the daughter whispered, placing the marks. The girl nodded like it was the best answer in the world. You ran the shop, she said. That is all it is. The billionaire felt his jaw unclench. The bench, the paper, the soft voice, they worked. Simple and kind, with respect at the center. The billionaire's heart shifts. He stood there, watching a lesson born from scraps and calm. Something in him loosened. Money could buy speed, space, and status. It could not buy insight like this. He slipped his phone into his pocket and let the numbers fade. He chose presence over control. He walked over with slow steps. No square shoulders, no sharp voice, just a dad in a park ready to learn. He nodded to the girl in the cap and then to his daughter. He kept his hands visible and his tone light. He spoke first and he kept it simple. I am Mark, he said. Thank you for helping her. Are you both okay with me sitting here? He waited. The pause felt holy. The girl glanced at his daughter. The child smiled and patted the bench. He sat, careful to keep a little space. He did not ask for a backstory. He did not pry. He asked about the shapes on the paper. What is the trick with the candy shop? He said. It is a choice game, she said. She is the owner, not the student. The line hit him hard. Tutors had rushed. They had filled the air with rules. This girl filled it with choice. She taught his daughter to feel safe first, then brave. He made clear promises, the kind that build trust in seconds. Thank you for helping her, and I will pay for your time. No pity, no strings, public places only. Can say no to anything. We set a schedule that works for you. Offered warm tea, not cash in a hurry. He asked her name and wrote it down like it mattered. He asked what she needed to keep teaching, then listened. Notebook, pencils, a clean place to sit. He could handle that. The bond started with respect, not rescue. It felt like the best kind of Reddit redemption arc. A man with power chose humility. A girl with little chose to share. A child found courage because 2 adults decided to be gentle, ripples of change in their lives. What started on a park bench did not end there. Mark chose steady help over a one-time fix, and the path forward began to form. He wanted support that honored her skill, guarded her dignity, and opened real doors. The focus stayed on the girl's goals and his daughter's growth. That choice changed them both. Building a brighter future together, they sat down with simple questions. What do you want to study? What does a safe week look like? What would make teaching easier? The plan grew from her answers, not his instincts. It looked practical, calm, and strong. Scholarship first. A named scholarship covered a GED course, testing fees, and 2 community college classes each term. It paid direct to the school, not into hands, so no stress about cash or timing. Stable routine. A transit pass, a library card, and a quiet study room near campus. Small tools, big relief. Teaching stipend. She earned a modest hourly rate for sessions with his daughter, set by a written agreement. Clear hours, clear pay, 0 guesswork mentor circle. 1 math educator, 1 social worker, 1 peer tutor. Short check-ins monthly. No pressure to share more than she wanted, emergency buffer. A micro-grant for surprise costs like a lost ID or clinic visit. Used with a quick text and a receipt. No hoops. Health and safety. A partnership with a local shelter program for safe housing options if needed. Chosen by her, not assigned. The daughter thrived with this stability. Her math anxiety eased because the lessons stayed playful and kind. She began to lead the steps and explain her thinking. At dinner, she told stories instead of hiding behind yes and no. Confidence stuck. Mark watched headlines about big donors funding shelters and tuition-free preschools. He did not copy their playbook, but he took the hint. Quiet, local, verified help works. He offered 2 more scholarships through a community nonprofit that already tracks progress for youth like her. 1 bench meeting turned into a small, steady stream. The story is not over. The sessions are booked. Grades are rising. A grant application sits on Mark's desk for a shared study studio in the neighborhood, open 2 afternoons a week. When a billionaire helps homeless child mentors become students and teachers by choice, the circle widens. The next chapter may surprise even them, timeless lessons from an unlikely teacher. Some teachers do not come with titles. They arrive with presence, patience, and a steady way of seeing you. That is what happened on the bench. A girl with little on paper showed what real wealth looks like when it is measured in care, focus, and respect. Here are the timeless lessons that rose from that moment. Kindness outranks status. Status can open doors, but kindness opens people. The homeless girl taught by noticing, pausing, and letting a child feel safe first. That is not a trick. It is a practice. She made the child the owner of the problem. She used small wins to build trust. She stayed calm when mistakes showed up. The effect was instant. Fear dropped. Curiosity rose. That is the power of simple kindness. Wisdom can wear any face. Wisdom does not need a resume. It often comes from those who have carried heavier loads. She brought lessons born from life, not lectures. She knew that steady attention beats speed. She knew that choice builds courage. She knew that stories help ideas stick. When someone has faced real struggle, they see what matters. They teach from that place. Heart over wealth, money buys tools. Heart decides how to use them. Mark learned to support without control, to fund without taking dignity, and to listen before planning. That shift changed everything. The help became clean and respectful. The learning became joyful and real. Key takeaways to carry forward. These points travel well, far beyond one park bench. Kindness is a skill, not a mood. Practice it on purpose. Wisdom is everywhere, so stay open to unlikely guides. Heart sets the rules and money follows, not the other way around. Have you seen wisdom in unexpected places? Think about the last time someone surprised you with insight that stuck. Keep your eyes open. The next teacher might be sitting 2 seats away, ready to share if you are ready to listen. Conclusion. A quiet bench, a pencil, and 2 open hearts changed a family. A father traded control for presence. A child found courage in choice. A young teacher showed that care, patience, and story can heal fear. The arc moved from status to kindness, from pressure to trust, from buying solutions to building them together. This inspiring billionaire homeless story is not about rescue. It is about respect and real partnership. The scholarship, the stipend, the safe routine, they honored skill and gave room to grow. The daughter now meets numbers with a clear head and a steady smile. The girl in the cap now holds a path forward, not just a day-to-day. One small moment grew into a shared future, measured in dignity and joy. The opening scene comes full circle. A man froze at the edge of a park, then learned to listen. A child once scared of math now explains her thinking at dinner. A teacher who once sat in the margins now leads with confidence. This is how change sticks. One patient step, one honest promise, one kind voice at a time. Carry these takeaways with you. Kindness is a skill. Choice builds bravery. Money should follow heart. If this felt like a great Reddit tale, that is because it shows what people can do when they choose care over fear. Keep the ripple going. Share this story with someone who needs hope. Tell a friend about the power of small wins. Support a local program that treats people with respect. Leave a comment with your own moments of unexpected wisdom. Notice lessons around you. Spread kindness.